Gang, Uber 757 here, where all Uber and Lyft drivers go to heaven. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm preparing to go pick up some passengers and take them on a local trip to Norfolk International Airport. Don't have my work shirt on yet, as it's still, I'm actually like 2 hours early, so which is good. I like being early. I don't want to be late, so I'm here early. But the other day, I was down in Kinley, North Carolina, as you may have seen or will see, depending on when I load up multiple videos that I have in the queue that I haven't loaded up yet. I've been doing a lot of work for my channel lately as far as videos are concerned. But while I was down at Kinley 95, a truck stop called Kinley 95, my favorite truck stop in Kinley, North Carolina on Interstate 95, exit 106 Truck Stop Road, I picked this up. This is the BLUEPARROT B250 XT noise canceling wireless headset. It has a multi-function button, controls on and off, call answering, ear pairing, wide range of speaker and volume adjustments, micro USB port charging, flexible gooseneck, advanced noise canceling. It has over 16 hours per charge of use time on it. You can also stream music or GPS directions as well, and basically you make your phone a walkie-talkie with the free BLUEPARROT app from Android, iOS. But I'm not trying to do all that. I just wanted to get a headset that was nicer than the one that you guys saw me review not long ago, the one that goes into my ear, which is not bad for 19 bucks. But this one here cost me $90 basically. And so here is the headset. Here's the BLUEPARROT here, and I'm going to put it on. And since this is going to be my first trip with the BLUEPARROT, I'm going to give you my initial thoughts on the BLUEPARROT. Now, the actual power button is located here. Volume buttons are located here. The flexible gooseneck, and of course this goes on like so. I'm sure you guys have seen bus drivers and truck drivers with different models of BLUEPARROTs on or similar devices. So let me turn this on real quick. So it's on. I will say last night when I paired this to my Note 8, the pairing was simple and easy. I also added this in Google as a trusted device, but it was no problem to set up. I made a phone call to check it out, check out the volume, made a phone call to my financial institution, to the automated system, and so I played with the volume while I'm listening to that to see how it sounded, and it's very loud, very clear, very audible. I got this because so many times when other drivers are calling me with the other earbud, you guys sometimes see me having my ear when I'm doing videos, showing you guys inside the bus or whatever. When I'm chewing food, that earbud will work its way loose and fall out. And sometimes when I'm talking to colleagues of mine, with the fans on the bus, like right now the fan's off. Let me turn it on. When the fan's on the bus, when there are people on the bus, when you're moving, the noise from the engine, when your wipers are on right now, I'll turn those off, and other noises from the bus, as you guys can probably hear just from me sitting still before my pre-trip on this bus, you can hear it gets pretty loud, and I'm having to shout to try to make sure you guys hear me. And that other earbud, while it does work, and it was only $19, and it's still a good value, I think, because I reviewed it, you guys saw that earlier. I'll try to remember to leave a link, if I remember, in the description to that. This, I see a lot of drivers, truck drivers, and also motor coach captains using this model or a different BLUEPARROT or a similar device. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do that, because they have told me that it works great. You see a lot of people using it. So I figured it's time for me as a, pretty respected motor coach captain in the Hampton Roads now to go ahead and step my game up and, like everybody else, get this. Now, of course, I'm not one normally to follow the bandwagon the way I do things, but sometimes following the bandwagon isn't necessarily a bad thing. So I'm going to give you guys, after I finish this trip we're going to be doing today, I'm going to pick up some folks in Suffolk, dropping them off at Norfolk International local trip pretty quick. I'm going to give you guys my initial thoughts on it, and then I'll come back with those thoughts, and then what will probably happen in a couple of months from now of using it, I'll come back with a longer term review of this product and give you guys my thoughts on that in that video later on for the future. But for right now, let me go ahead, turn this off. Let me start my official pre-trip of this motor coach, which is like a safety check that professional drivers do for their tractor trailers or their motor coaches / tour buses or other types of commercial equipment. They check, check different things on the vehicle, such as checking the air horn, or in this case, the electric horn, which I have air and electric. I use air normally. Checking the windshield wipers, headlights, high beams, turn signals, tires, stuff like that. Things of that nature that you have to do before you move the bus to ensure that you, as the motor coach captain or truck driver or even transit bus driver, and your passengers will be as safe as possible. So guys, stand by. I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to officially go on duty, so I'm going to end this video, or at least this part of this video. So, if you're wondering, I'm covering up who I work for, so that's why I have my hand here over my heart. I'm not saying the pledge, in case anybody's wondering. So, right now I'm in Suffolk for my pickup this morning, waiting on passengers to call me back, letting them know I'm here, all that good stuff. But so far so good. Made a couple of phone calls. The sound quality was good, easy to understand, and they apparently could understand me. It wasn't a bunch of what you say, like with the other device that I was using, where it was difficult for them sometimes to understand me and difficult in turn for me to hear them. One thing I did notice using Google Maps on my phone, instead of the Bluetooth Google Maps instructions coming through the Bluetooth and to hear like the phone calls, it was just coming out of the speaker of my phone. So I might have to try to play with a couple of, see if there's any adjustments, so that the GPS information comes out here, because sometimes when I'm driving, if I have passengers on board, I don't want them hearing the GPS, because if I choose to go somewhere different than what the GPS says, customers thinking, well, he's going the wrong way, when in fact I may have been to the place we're going to before and know that the way the GPS is sending me is not a good way for, say, buses to go, and so I'm going a different way. So I'd rather that GPS instructions come through here. But phone calls, no problem. Answering the phone calls, all that good stuff, no problem. Volumes, no problem. I did make a phone call to the point of contact for a trip this morning that I'm waiting for him to call me back, and I hit the hang up button, answer hang up button by mistake, and then I called back. But that's just a matter of me muscle memory, remembering that the power hang up answer buttons here, and that the volume, or actually here, I'm sorry, and see, there you go, so I've got to learn it, and that the volume buttons are here, so I've got to learn that. I get the muscle memory in there. But so far so good. Comfort wise, I was a little bit concerned it might be kind of flimsy kind of feeling, whatever, but it's actually staying on my head pretty good. And unlike the other Bluetooth that I reviewed before, that's fine. When I'm chewing food or drinking something, it's not working its way out of its ear. It's staying right here in place. And I'm also, it's fairly comfortable. Now, of course, it's a short trip here in a 757 that I'll be doing. So, of course, as I mentioned before in the video, I'll have to come back probably a month or two from now and give a long-term review on this product. Now, a lot of you are probably going, well, Uber 757, we have Bluetooth in our vehicles. Yes, you do. But some of your vehicles, maybe your radio is broken. Maybe somebody busted in your vehicle, stole your radio, and you need to have a Bluetooth. This could be an option for you. Again, some of you that drive Uber and or Lyft, like I do, you also drive tour buses. You also drive tractor trailers. Some of you, depending on your school system and what their rules are, like right now, I'm at a school in the city of Suffolk. Some of you are school bus drivers. Some of your school bus districts may or may not, depending, I don't know, but maybe they do allow you to wear headsets so you can communicate with your dispatcher and or those you're picking up, depending on the situation. So that's why I'm going to share this review, even though this is primarily a rideshare channel. But as it does say in my description, I will talk about other things too that are not necessarily related to rideshare. More thoughts coming up. Right now I'm actually on the phone with my credit union waiting for them to answer, and the call quality is very good. I can hear them clearly. I'm going to try to make it so you guys can hear a little bit. So hopefully you heard that. I don't know, but it does sound pretty good. I've already been on the phone this morning with a couple of my supervisors, customer issues, you know, that kind of stuff. Sorry about that. Somebody was on the phone, so I had to give them some pertinent information that I don't want to have out here on YouTube. But while I'm sitting here waiting on some passengers to show up, I want to talk to you guys real quick about bus safety real quick, and I'll show you guys a couple of things real quick about the tour buses. Let me turn the lights on in here so it'll be a little easier for you guys to see. So the lights are on. First, a couple of things real quick. On many buses, many tour buses, for your safety, so you guys know, under the front seat, or somewhere usually the front or first or second seat, usually door side, is the fire extinguishers. Usually, depending on the model of bus, it does vary from bus to bus and company to company. First aid kits are located usually up here. Sometimes it will be up here, depending on the company and the model of the bus that you're on. Also, for safety, my friends, on the H345s and X345s, many of them, not all, there's a valve down there in case there's an emergency to take the air pressure off the front door so you guys can get out of the bus. So we also want to talk about with motor coaches, aka tour buses and transit buses too, school buses, always hold on to the handrails, watch your steps, don't goof around on the steps. Common sense stuff, but you'll be surprised how many folks don't take it seriously and hurt themselves. The aisleways. Now we keep our little trash bags there for your convenience, but other than that, keep the aisleways clear. Don't have your bags and stuff in the aisleways, because if there's an emergency, just for example, and I have to clear the bus out, I want to make sure that you're not going to trip over anything getting off of the bus. Also, on most tour buses, there is, and most buses in general, there's one or two escape hatches. It'll be a matter of turning a red knob or maybe pulling a red lever down on some of the MCI motor coaches, push the hatch up to get out. There's usually one up front, and there is one on this Prevost H345 here in the back. Okay. There's also, when you are on a tour bus, the bus is going to be rocking and rolling somewhere going down the road, and it's important for you to balance yourself so that you stay as safe as possible. So always hold on to your neighbor's seat backs, watch your steps, and also hold on to the grab irons that are located on the side of the motor coach, and also make sure these compartments overhead are closed. You don't want any apple pies hitting you on the face going down the interstate, because folks have to get up and, you know, we're all human, have to go to the restroom, or maybe it's you're a sports team and you have to get up and maybe talk to your coach who might be sitting up front. Also, typically there's a gray bar, maybe silver bar usually, but usually right here on most buses. It does vary some model to model. Sometimes it might be a red lever. That's the emergency escape for the windows. Most of the time you pull this out and push out, and that's how you can get off of the bus safely in the event of an emergency. Also, of course, I know nowadays we shouldn't have to mention it, but we still have them on buses like on airplanes. No smoking sign. That includes vaping as well on the buses as well. but Uber 757 is vapor. Yes, but vapes have been known to explode and also catch fire, so no vaping on the bus as well. Some of you that know the previous tour bus company I used to work for, one day while I was on the road, I found out when I got back, there was a gentleman that was vaping, and he threw his vape in the back seat of his very nice, probably $50,000 crew cab pickup truck. It caught fire, and there was a fire in the parking lot of a tour bus company that I used to work for. I won't call their name. You probably know who it is by now. No vaping on the bus. So I figured I'd give you guys that quick safety thing there. There's more I could say, but that's the basics. Of course, again, hold onto the handrails, watch your steps, and also never stand behind a tour bus, transit bus, or a school bus. Even with backup cameras, we still may not be able to see you. Alright, back to the main points of this video. Okay, friends, I am back. About to shut her down here in a second, and my first day using this, pretty good. Again, the Jeep, I've got the Bluetooth hooked up. The call quality is good. On the other side, people seem to be able to hear me better than what I was using. Not that what I was using was bad, but it had some issues that this appears so far to be solving, and no problem. I did go to the settings that I could find in the phone as far as for this phone, this headset, and I couldn't make it so that the GPS will come through the headset. I'll probably have to go home and do some more reading to see how that works. But again, this is my initial impressions, my initial review, initial thoughts of this. My first time using this model in real life, driving big buses. So this, again, this is the BLUEPARROT B250 XT. I'm sure you can get it from Flying J's, Loves, and so forth. I got mine in particular the other day from Kinley 95 in Kinley, North Carolina. And I also mentioned this too while filming. I'm not moving the bus, so that is why you don't see this. I am not moving the bus while filming. So if you fall into the category that I've described earlier and you need a Bluetooth headset, so far my initial thoughts are is this works fine, but you might have difficulty trying to get your navigation to come through your ear. Maybe some of you guys have experience with this and can tell me how that's done. I am going to go home and do some more reading on this when time permits, and I will come back and make another video probably in a couple of months with more of a long-term review of this headset. Alright guys, so the big bus, your favorite motor coach captain that drives Uber and Lyft on occasion, Uber 757, where all Uber and Lyft drivers go to heaven, and professional drivers go to heaven too. Please hit the like button, please subscribe, and as always, drive safely and with skill. Please give truck drivers, motor coach captains, bus drivers, school bus drivers, and other commercial vehicles room. Please don't cut us off. Remember, it takes us much longer to stop and accelerate than most of your personal vehicles. And remember, we weigh a lot more. So when you do silly things in front of, beside of the bus, behind the bus even, you're putting yourself at great risk, and you're putting the drivers of these vehicles at great risk. And in my case, you're also putting my valuable payload at risk, the most valuable payload there is, which is my customers or my passengers. So as always, drive safely with skill, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye. So today I figured I'd walk all the way down here today. It's warm. Walk all the way down here. So this is the end beach. You guys can see Chicks Beach all the way down there, and back up there is First Landing State Park. And this is the southern end of my old base, the southern end of the Fort Story side of my old base. Joint Expeditionary Base, Little Creek, Fort Story, right here. So I used to do exercises on that beach and also on the beaches on the Little Creek side of Little Creek, Fort Story, a few miles down that way back in the day. I got a long walk back. Whew. Sorry, don't need to get my fat ass up and walk. See ya.